Well, it's April. We're a long ways from Halloween. In fact, we're only halfway to Halloween.
Ooh.
But we have something scary to talk about.
Right.
This was brought about by something that I heard our priest say in a homily, just how he had said that he was afraid of fire as a kid. You know, sometimes those fears can shape how we are as adults. I really started to think about that. What was something that I was afraid of as a kid? And is it something that has somehow impacted my life, either positively or negatively as an adult? Then I'd brought it up to you and you said, oh, I've got something.
I do.
And now I'm curious to hear. What is something that scared you as a child?
Yeah.
That is now still with you as an adult?
Well, buckle in, Ridge. You go for a wild ride?
Click, click.
Yes, that's right. It's not that crazy of a story. We all do things when we're kids that we instantly regretted. And I remember a couple of times where I got stuck. I got myself way in too deep, doing things I shouldn't have been doing.
Drug addiction.
Drug addictions. I remember when I had been less than 5 years old, because the house we lived at, that's when we moved. We moved when I was 5. And I remember climbing a tree in the backyard. It's a maple tree. It was big, probably much bigger in my mind than it actually was, because I was, 4 or 5 years old. There's this tree, and it seemed like a climbable tree. And I have no idea how I got up in the tree, but I know I was out of reach from my mom. She could not reach me in the tree. My mom's of average height for a woman, whatever that is, 5'6", let's say. She couldn't get to me. I was just a little 4-year-old stuck on a branch on a tree. I just remember crying and crying and crying. And I could not get down. She's like, jump. I'm like, no, I can't jump. You can't catch me. I'm like, jump. You have to go down from the tree. To this day, I have no idea how I got out of the tree. I'm not sure if I tried to shimmy back down. In my mind now, I'd lay on my belly, probably hang a little bit from my arms. My mom probably could have grabbed me. I have no idea how I got down from the tree, but I do distinctly remember being stuck in a tree, and that's probably one of my earliest memories. If you remember stuff from when you're 4 years old, it's probably pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
I could not get down from the tree. Somehow I ended up down from the tree. I just remember being stuck in the tree and my mom being there and trying to get me out of the tree. I remember my older brother running to get my mom. I just remember a little bit of the circumstances where I was just done. There's no way. I was paralyzed with fear. And there was another time, and this is probably not long after that. I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I was definitely very young. And somehow I crossed the creek in the backyard.
Yeah.
Somehow, no idea how, I got to the other side of the creek. And I was petrified to try to cross back. And I have no idea. We played in the creek when we were kids. I don't know if the water was fast, and somehow I got across, and I got very, very scared to be on that side of the creek. And my mom came down again with my older brother, who's 2 years older than me. So, he's always there to, try to probably talk me into doing things I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But he's always there to help me because I was his brother. And I remember them bringing a plank of wood down, putting it across the creek, and me looking at that plank of wood. I was probably, I couldn't have been more than 50 pounds. I guess when I was 5 years old, I was probably like 130, but I'm sure it was very, very light.
A very thick 50 pounds.
Yeah, it was a very thick 50. Trying to get across that creek. I remember that plank of wood thinking it was stretching, and my mom walked across it, and she's an adult.
Yeah.
She walked across and tried to get me to come back, and I would not go back with her because no, it's too much weight. We can't do it. And she walked back across the plank of wood. And then I just would not walk across the plank of wood.
She probably just would have picked you up if you didn't weigh 200 pounds.
I was a fat little kid. And I don't know how I got across and out of that situation either. I don't remember actually getting out of these situations. Obviously I did. I'm here today. I'm not stuck in a tree still. But whatever it was, I think that put in my mind is that I need an escape plan whenever I do something that's dangerous or silly or dumb.
You just always have one ready to go. Contingency plan.
Yeah. And I think it's helped me a lot in my life because anytime I get into something, I say, what is my exit plan? If I get into a situation, and I do things that are off the ground, high. I do dangerous things often. And I always think, if I get into the situation, how am I going to get back out of the situation?
Mm.
And maybe it doesn't work out good in my relationships, but but I'm just thinking more of a physical nature of my life has been, if I get into this situation, if I climb up on top of this trusses that aren't no sheathing or anything, there's just openness down to the concrete floor. What is my exit plan? So I always have an exit for my entry.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Because you can't always go back the way you came. That's not always possible.
Yeah.
So I always think of my exit. I don't know. Those are some things, and I do think it affects me still today.
Yeah. You don't want to have to call your mom to bring a board, step ladder, and get you down.
Yeah. Help me out.
Interesting.
Is that the kind of thing you're looking for?
Yeah. Something where, it's either trauma or something positive even that happened when you were young that has still impacted you to this day. I think that's like a perfect example because you can't even remember how you got out of those situations. You were stuck in the tree and you don't even remember how you got out.
Yeah. Or in. I'm assuming I climbed the tree. I don't remember that part.
But just that sensation, that emotion of being like helpless and not having a way to cross the river to get down from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And now as an adult, you always have an exit plan.
Yeah. I usually have a way out already before I get into that bind. I think I have more foresight now. I see the danger ahead of what I do. Doesn't mean I don't have to do it, but I do that and know that I have a way out.
That's 4D chess. You're playing 4D chess.
That's complimentary to what's going on in my brain with the monkey with the tamarines.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah,
it's working. For me, it's a fear of water.
Oh, really?
It's a fear of water.
Oh, I thut you were joking about that the other day with the tower.
No.
You don't like water? Or fear of water? Not just don't like it?
Let me back up. It's not so much water. It's not like somebody hands me a bottle of water, I'm afraid. I guess it could even be more so I don't like the feeling of suffocation, right?
Oh, yeah, nobody really likes that.
Yeah. I just have I have a story related to being in water and then also having that suffocation that made me just not want to be in pools, and it's, when I was a kid, I was constantly wanted to be in the pools. And I had tubes in my ear, so I always had to wear earplugs because you can't get water in your ear. So you're more prone to ear infections.
Oh, tubes are horrible, aren't they?
Unless the water's perfectly treated, and it never is because you're swimming in the pool and old Tommy over there is urinating in it and you get pee in your ears and get an ear infection or whatever.
It's 50% bleach.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing good happening in that pool.
Burns all of my holes. But yeah, my brother and his friend just used to kind of like torment me anyway. They kind of would bully me. And he like cannonballed on my back. Right. So I'm like swimming. He cannonballs off of the diving board onto my back, knocks the wind out of me.
Oh.
Right. And I just remember sinking to the bottom of the pool. I remember my stomach touching the bottom of the pool.
Ouch.
And this is in like the 10 feet. And then
it's a diving board.
Everything
area.
was white, and I just don't remember much of anything. Same way. It's like you said, I don't remember how I got out of the pool, but I must have because I'm alive.
Yeah, you're here.
But just that feeling of suffocating just made me like stay away from any water where I couldn't touch with my feet.
Oh.
Right. So like being in ponds and lakes, is very nerve-wracking to me. Now I am more rational. If you got up into a tree today, you would be like, yeah, it's not that high. I can just jump down.
Right.
Right. So I'm not irrational. If I have a life vest, it's not like I'm paranoid about it, but you just can never shake that trauma from when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, how it's manifested as an adult is that I've been absolutely adamant that my kids all need to be able to swim like fish.
Oh, yeah.
So that they can rescue me when I fall.
No, selfishness.
Because part of it too was that since I had tubes, I didn't really take swim lessons. So I was not a great swimmer anyway. And so then when I had that incident where I was at the bottom of the pool, that just made me terrified even to be in the water. Because up to that point, it was just all fun and games, just floating around, swimming around. But the result of that is I've really made sure all my kids are very good swimmers, really strong swimmers. They've subsequently been on swim teams, and that's been a thing that they've really enjoyed. And all my kids, minus the 2 youngest ones, just because they're still young, can all swim. Just really good.
That's good.
Really good swimmers. Still get uneasy being on the water. If I'm taking a ferry across the lake or something,
Really?
I just feel a little anxious about it.
I see that. You mentioned being in deep water. When we went to Michigan, Upper Peninsula, 15 years ago probably, we went up there on a boating trip, and we grew up around Lake Erie, which is just north of us. And I think the deepest part where we are is like 40 feet. There's some deeper parts of Lake Erie, but where we are, 40 feet. And then we went to, I don't know, it was Lake Michigan, went up to the Northern Peninsula and headed east. Can't remember the name of it. I want to say Edmond Island. It's not right. But we went up there with our boat, went out. There's like 600 feet of water in some of these areas. And I wasn't nervous in 40, but we got to the 600 foot mark, and I was very nervous about that. Almost like 560 feet of water additional was what I would drown in, but 40 feet, you definitely drowned it.
Maybe touch the bottom of that.
Yeah. Maybe I could bounce back up like 40 feet of water. Like that's way deep. Definitely could die in that. But when it got up to 600, I was a little bit, sketched out. Is that what the kids say? I was like, oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
deep.
This is not quite the same analogy, but I guess I kind of get it. Yeah. If you're a mile away from land, it might be a little uneasy. If you're 100 miles from any land, you're like, oh, crap. It's just that feeling of being so small and something so vast.
But you would never make it back trying to swim from a mile or 100 miles, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're hosed either way. Your life's over. So in 40 feet of water, maybe it's the recovery of the body. It would be easier in 40 feet.
I just need my family to have my body. That's all.
Yeah. 600 feet of water, they'll never find me.
Yeah, the crabs will eat you in Lake Michigan.
Gone before they get you.
Are there crabs in Lake Michigan?
Sure. Yeah. At least crayfish.
They would eat you all the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting, how things when we're kids, I definitely think it's intriguing how both of our experiences, we can't really remember how we got out of them. But we must have because we're alive.
Yeah. Yeah. You end up in the situation, you can feel it. I can still look around from that tree and see what I can see. And my mom just begging me to come down, begging me to come across the plank of wood, across the river. I have no idea if I did, but I did because I'm here.
It's interesting too, because when you're young, those fears are irrational. But then as an adult, you can rationalize those fears, but we still have a learned experience from them.
To think that I have no rationale that my mom, who weighed a lot more than me, not that my mom was big, but I was a little child walking across that plank. I could not rationalize that I can make it across the plank of wood because my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, that is too scary. I think a lot of us getting to a point where you're not rational anymore. You're so paralyzed by the fear. There's no talking you into it making sense. It just didn't make any sense to me how it would work. I thought I would walk across it. Maybe I thought my mom already weakened it.
Yeah. She's just going to push me. That's what you're afraid of. That you're going to get on and just go, whoops.
I was definitely her least favorite. So maybe she would.
Until adult life. Now you are the favorite, I think.
Bingo bango.
I think you are the favorite. I think so.
I doubt it.
You're not the least favorite.
That's true.
That's all that counts.
Sorry, sis.
Oh.
Ow. Yow.
Oh, man. Yeah, let us know what you're afraid of. What haunts your dreams?
Yeah. Keeps you up at night from your childhood.
So let us know. Send us an email at thebarnphilosopher@gmail.com. If you've got a good story, maybe we'll have you call into the show.
Yes. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of shine and grinds tonight. Ridge, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we need to get like a little jingle for this.
Use the music, man.
Or grind. Yeah, I'm going to work on that.
All right. Yeah, we'll get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so my shine is that I get to take some kids soon here on a field trip to Washington, D.C.
That sounds fantastic. Like a lot of fun.
I have never been to Washington, D.C. I'm a 41-year-old male. I've driven by it multiple times, and I've just never gone.
Yeah.
Mostly because people say, oh, now's not a good time to go. It's really congested. Or sometimes the political climate, I'm like, I just don't know if I feel like being around a lot of the stuff. And we're not there super long. I think we're cramming everything we possibly can into 2.5 days or 3 days.
I hear you spend like 2 weeks there and not see everything. It's amazing.
I think we get to be at the Holocaust Museum for 30 minutes or something.
Oh.
It's probably longer than that, but we're getting to just see a little bit of everything. But
Nice.
still, I'm excited. I'm excited to go see this nation's capital, especially on the sesquicentennial. 250th.
I thought you're messing up. I can't say it either.
No, the semi-sesquicentennial, Sasquatch-tennial.
Yeah, Sasquatch.
Yeah, 250th birthday of our country.
Which, thank you for the pipe that you got me. That was the bicentennial, which I can say.
Yeah.
It's easy. You can as well.
Have you smoked it yet?
No, it's unsmoked. I don't plan on smoking it.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
I think if you did smoke, it's an old corn cob. Oh, so it's a bicentennial. So it's 50 years old.
What was 150? Oh, yeah, now it's 50. Yes. Boy, I had really messed that up.
Oh, that would be sick to just, not even to smoke it, but just to have it out.
Yeah. I'm going to put it up on display for the 4th of July.
Yeah. Sick. But no, I'm excited to go to DC. It sounds kind of weird. We're taking a charter bus. It's a 10-hour bus ride. Kind of excited for that. I've got a couple books I want to read.
Wow.
I mean, chances are I'll just sleep the whole time, but you know me, rarely do I ever get more than an hour to just sit.
Yeah.
And do nothing.
Nobody's going to bother you. You only have one of your kids going.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's probably going to bug me.
Well, yeah.
For sure. But
yeah,
somebody's going to want to talk to me and I'll be like, shut up. I'm enjoying my time alone.
But in 10 hours, do you have a good book light?
Oh, it's a Kindle.
Oh, yeah. You don't need a book. Yeah. I'm unking it. Sorry.
What's a book light?
You're going to read Buying America, one of the best novels of the 21st century.
Yeah. By my favorite author, Shelby and Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the N stands for.
Norton. Sorry. Nerdy.
So what about you? What's your shine or grind? What about your car parts?
Oh, don't start me on the car parts. Today was a bad day. Ridge helped me move the front axle underneath my truck, and I went to install leaf springs. And
yeah, a leaf spring, by the way, is just like a big bendy piece of metal.
Yeah, big bendy piece of metal.
I've seen them all the time in vehicles. I just didn't know that that's what they were called. Leaf springs.
Yeah, I'm having one of those senior moments, so I can't remember what the parts was that I put in it. I want to say grommets, but it's not.
We're just going to call them grommets.
Yeah. Bushings, that's it. Yes. Thank you, Ridge. The bushings I got were the wrong ones. And it's really unfortunate. They made multiple bushings maybe for that year. The parts stores online, they have the wrong one listed. I literally have the vehicle right here. These do not fit. They're the wrong ones. And no one online, I guess my grind is the people online, if I try to get a hold of them to ask them, what's the diameter? What's the width? They can't tell me anything about them. They know nothing about the parts that they're selling.
They probably just say, look at the listing online. That'll tell you.
Yeah, they do. There's no specifications. Some great websites out there. And I'm going to throw out the name Granger. I don't know if anybody knows them. LMC Truck. You can find some really good specifications on things that you're buying. Like a PDF spec sheet on what it is you're buying. A lot of these online retailers, they have no specifications. I can't even get on there to see anything about the parts, except for they should fit this vehicle. And that's what I bought, something that should fit my vehicle.
Yes, you're saying it just might say bushings and it fits this vehicle.
Yeah.
Versus like bushings and here's the measurements of like the diameter and the circumference and all that stuff.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah.
They don't have that information on there. And when you call, they don't know the information, nor can they get the information. Because I think and I understand this. And actually, I kind of appreciate their position is that they're trying to provide parts at affordable pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going for the bulk, not the specialities of it. Like we got to sell a lot of these parts to make money.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But also when I really have a problem finding a part, I want someone that knows what they're talking about. And they don't even have to know the part, but be able to go find some answers of, just some dimensions of a part.
Yeah.
And they can't do it. They just can't do it. And this is not the first time this has happened.
Well, and I'm sure this isn't like Amazon. I know I've gotten things off of Amazon before where they're like, oh, yeah, this should do this thing. And the picture even shows like, yeah, and it looks like that should be the thing. And you get it and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And you complain and say, I want to return this. This is not what's pictured. This is not what this says it's supposed to do. Amazon very often is like, you keep it. We'll give you your money back. And you're like, okay. So now I have something I don't need, but at least I'm not having to go out of my way and spend my time to return it.
Yeah.
But in your case, are they going to do that for you? Or you probably have to return this stuff to them?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, $60 worth of parts. Probably going to have to send them back.
Light as paper too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Which is funny you say that, because there was another time I ordered something and there's these little puck looking things. They look like little hockey pucks, but they're for the lift. They're pads, they're rubber, and they're very dense, right? They're made for putting on the bridge jacks and the jack vehicles up. The package came. It obviously had been tampered with. There's only 3 out of 4. So instead of calling Amazon or emailing Amazon, I looked up the company that made them, which is the one who shipped them. So they didn't ship from Amazon. And I emailed them and said, hey, I only have 3. I need 4. And these things are useless in 3s. You can have 2 at a time in the front, 2 at a time in the back, but I wanted 4. So I could put them all 4
Yeah,
wheels.
you paid for 4.
Yeah. And I said, hey, I just need another one. And they weren't that expensive. And I asked to just send me one. And they couldn't do that. They couldn't just send me one. I had to return mine and reorder 4 more.
Yeah.
Why can't you just send me one of these things? Throw it in an envelope, snail mail it to me. Don't care.
Yeah.
But now we're spending all this extra time and fuel and energy and gas to get these things shipped back just to have me order more and have more shipped to me, where they could take one and ship it to me.
And the ones you ship back, they're probably just going to end up in a landfill anyway.
Yeah. Landfill or one of those box stores.
Yeah.
Buy everything for $1.
Yeah.
I understand efficiency.
Yeah.
But it's annoying sometimes. So online retailers, keep doing what you're doing, because thank you for the affordable pricing, but also when there's problems, customer service is a thing.
Yeah.
I know I could go to the local Napa store and they would break out a caliper, and we talked about this, Ridge. They would break out a caliper, and they did this for the seals for my pinions shafts. They broke out the caliper, measured it just to make sure, because these are old parts and they didn't really cross over appropriately. You know, I couldn't really find the right one. And I told them what I thought it was, and there was numbers on it on these seals, and they verified. It was the next day.
Yeah.
They had the parts in. I picked them up. Everything worked out fantastic. That's customer service. And it's for something that's really not that valuable, but it's when you want the things that are not that valuable for them to spend a little bit of time to make sure they're right. I feel like that is a great value.
Yeah. Especially the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, isn't there something a little more frustrating about if you're going to McDonald's and you're like, I want a cheeseburger, and then they just give you a hamburger, and you're like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Right? If it's something super complex, like I know when I've taken my whole family to a restaurant and there's lots of specific things that we get, sometimes things get mixed up and we're like, well, it was a big order, kids. Like it was complicated. Like people are human. But when it's something so simple like that, where you're like, this should be just basic.
Yeah.
It somehow gets goofed up. You're like, you can't even do the most simple of things.
Yeah.
It almost seems more frustrating that way.
Yeah, it's the simpler things that get messed up, and also that they can't help you get out of the situation when you assume that's their job.
Yeah.
That's what they are supposed to be specializing in. I don't know. I'm not the best customer service representative in the world, but I do make sure that people end up with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Or a meh face. Meh?
Meh.
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 It was fine.
Yeah. Well, have a great evening, Shelby.
You too, Ridge. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a good night.